Yo, hey, what's good, chat? We doing Bible readings again. I haven't done it in a minute, and I had nothing to do. So we up to Genesis 9. Right? Yeah, I'll keep this. Oh my goodness, I can't even read this word already. God's covenant with Noah. Genesis 9. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the earth. The fears and dread of you will fall, and all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and every creature that moves along the ground, and on all the fish in the sea. They were given into your hands. Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you, just as I gave the green plants, I will give you everything. But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it, and your lifeblood I will surely demand as according. I will demand an accounting from every animal and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. Whoever sheds human blood by humans, their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply the earth and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and all his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you. Oh, what is that word? Like, I do not know. What was I up to? And with your descendants after you. Oh, yeah. And with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy this earth, to destroy the earth. And God said, This is a sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and will it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring up the clouds over the earth, and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will be remembered my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow serpent appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. So God said to Noah, This is the sign of all the covenant I have established between me and all life on earth. The sons of Noah. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the 3 sons of Noah, and from them the people who were scattered over the whole earth. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeds to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and laid uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backwards and covered their father's naked body. Their faces were turned the other way, so they would not see their father naked. When Noah woke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan. The lowest of slaves will be to his brothers." He also said, "Praise to the Lord of God. Praise to the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be a slave of Shem." Yo. Yo, the page is about to rip. I need to take this out. I know what you. May God extend Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be a slave of Japheth. And the floods, Noah lived 350. After the floods, Noah lived 350 years. Noah lived a total of 950 years, and then he died. The Table of Nations. Genesis 10. This is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons, who themselves had sons after the flood. The Japhethrians. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Janvan, Tubal, Meshech, Teras. The sons of Gomer. I can't even say yeah, GG's. Tugamath. The sons of Javan. Elisha, Tarish, the Kitties, and the Rondites. From these, the maritime people spread out into their territories by their clans within their nations, and with its own language. The Hamites. The sons of Ham. Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabata, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior of the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is why it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Uruk, Akkad, and Calneh. In Shinar, from that land he went to Assyria, where he built Nineveh and Rubath, Hala, and Rezin, which in between Nineveh and Calah, which is a great city. Egypt was the father of the Lubatites and the Anamitites, the Letites and the Nuaphites, the Patrusites, the Calicites, whom from the Palestines came, and the Chlorophytes. Canaan was the father of Sidon his firstborn, and the Hittites, Jebelite, Amalekite, Giritite, Hivite, Archite, Sinicite, and Arvite, Zermer, Hittite, and Methites. Later, the Canaanite clan scattered, and the borders of Canaan reached from Sidon towards Gara as far as Gaza, and then towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Adamah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham by their clans and languages, in their territories and nations. The Semites. The sons were also born to Shem, whose older brother was Japheth. Shem was an ancestor of all the sons of Eber. The sons of Shem: Elam, Asher, Araphat, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram: Uz, Hol, Gether, Meshech. Axadite was the father of Salish, and Salish was the father of Eber. The two sons of Eber were: one was named Peleg, because in his time on earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. Joktan was the father of Almodad, Seliph, Hazoramadith, Jara, Hadoram, Sheba, Orifria, Halvia, and Jobad. All these were sons of Joktan. The religion where they lived stretched from Mesha towards Sephar in the eastern hill country. These are the sons of Shem by their clans' languages, in their territories and nations. These are the clans of Noah's sons according to their lives of descent within their nations. Form these the nations spread out over the earth after the flood. Damn, that was cool. I hate doing the names. They're so cool. The Tower of Babel. Genesis 11. Now the whole world had one eonage and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly," and used a brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they planned to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them from there all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them all over the face of the whole earth. From Shem to Abram. This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, Shem was 100 years old. He became a father of Atharax, and he became the father. After he became the father of Atharax, he lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Atharacadad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah, and after he became the father of Shelah, Amphrax lived 403 years, and he had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber, and after he became the father of Eber, Shelah lived 403 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg, and after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu. After he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Reu lived 35 years, he became the father of Serug. After he became the father of Serug, Reu lived 207 years. When Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor. When he became the father of Nahor, Serug lived 200 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. When he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years, and had other sons and daughters. After Terah lived 70 years, he became the father of Abram, and Noah, and Haran. Abram's family. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. and Haran became the father of Lot. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans. In the land of his birth, Abram and Nor both married. The same name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Narai's wife was Milcah. 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 She became the daughter of Haran and the father of both Milcah and Ishka. Now Sarah was childless because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughters-in-law Sarai, and the wife of his son Abram, and altogether they set out from Ur of Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Right. Terah lived for 205 years, and he died in Haran. The call of Abram. Genesis 12. The Lord had said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household, to the land I will show you. I will make you into the great nation, and I will bless you." Oh, why is a page stuck to you though? It's true. I will make your name great, and I will be blessing. It will be a blessing, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you will be cursed. And all people on earth will be blessed through you. So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. They arrived there. Abram traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh at Shechem. At the time, the Canaanites were in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he went on toward the hills east of Bethel, and pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on his name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continued toward Negev. Abram in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went down to Egypt to live there. For a while, because the famine was severe. He was about to enter Egypt. He said to his wife Sarai, "I know that a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you." When Abraham came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman, and then the Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh. And she was taken into his place. He treated Abraham well for her sake, and Abraham acquired sheep and cattle, male and female, donkeys, male and female, servants, and camels. But the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abraham's wife, Sarai. So Pharaoh summoned Abraham. "What have you done to me?" he said. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why didn't you say she is my sister, so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, there's your wife, take her and go." Then the Pharaoh gave orders about Abraham to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had. Abraham and the Lot separate. Genesis 13. So Abraham went to Egypt, to the Negev, with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abraham had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From Negev he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai. There was his tent he had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abraham called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents, but the land could not support them. While they stayed together for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together, and quarreling arose between Abraham's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. So Abraham said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are very close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left." Lot looked around. He saw that there was he saw that the whole plain of Jordan towards Zorah was well watered like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord had destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of, of the Jordan, and he set out towards the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while he lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, Look around from here, look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anybody could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Go walk Go walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving to you. So Abraham went to live near the great trees of Mamre and Hebron, where he pitched his tents. There he built an altar to the Lord. What am I? Abraham rescues Lot. Genesis 14. At the time when Amraphel was the king of Shinar, Arak king of Elasar, Keradormier king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goyim, these kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Birsha king of Gomorrah, Ab king of Ammah, Gember king of Zoyalim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor. And all these latter kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim, went out and defeated the Rephaites and the Ashurioth, Parayaman, and the Zulites in Ham, the Amalekites in Shamephilathim, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran near the desert. When they turned back and went to En Mashpat, that is Kadesh, when they conquered the whole territory, the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites, who were living in Hazezon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Adam, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Kedorla, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Araphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Sodom was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, then some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food. Then they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who escaped came and reported this to Abram the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great trees of Amir, an Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, all of whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pressuring them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people. After Abram returned from defeating Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him, the king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is, the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise to be God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. The king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people and the goods for yourself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, With raised hand I have sworn an oath to the Lord God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or a scrap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, I made Abram rich. I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten, and the share that belongs to the men who went with me to Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them have their share. The Lord's covenant with Abram. Genesis 15. Be not afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. But Abram said, Sovereign Lord, what can you give me, since I remain childless, and the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, You will have given me no children, so no servant in my house will be my heir. Then the word of the Lord came to him, this man will not be your heir, but a son who is your own flesh and blood will be your heir. He took him outside and said, look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can. Count them, he said. He said to him, so shall your offspring be. Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. He also said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of Chaldean, and give you this land to take possession of it. But Abraham said, Sovereign Lord, how can I know that I will gain possession of it? So the Lord said to him, bring me a heifer, a goat, a ram, each 3 years old, along with a dove, a young pigeon. Abraham brought all these to him, cut them into arranged halves opposite each other. The birds, however, he did not cut in half. The birds of prey come down in carcasses, but Abraham drove them away. As the sun was setting, Abraham fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. Then the Lord said to him, know you're certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in the world, in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. You, however, will go to your ancestors in peace, and will be buried at a good age in the fourth generation of your descendants. Will come back here for the sin of Amalekites and not yet reached its full measure. When the sun had set and the darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant between Abraham and said, to your descendants I will give this land, from the Wadi of Egypt and to the great river, the Euphrates, the land of Kenites, Amalekites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephites, Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Busites. I didn't call that. Alright. Dang, okay, what we doing, chat? Yeah, it's just me. Alright. Alright. Oh, Fortnite's a big as hell update. I wanted to play that as well. I guess I'll play something else. Oh, I should have had it downloaded in the background. Oh, I was gonna react to a video.